everyone, it's Lauren. Today I'm going to be reading the 5th chapter of A Mistaken Identity, so let's get into it. Chapter 5, Briella. Suddenly the doorknob turns. Hayden and I scramble to hide behind the racks of clothes. I brace myself for the worst as I see someone step into the room. It's a woman carrying 2 huge faux fur coats. I don't dare breathe. She walks toward us. Every step seems like an eternity. Finally, she stops and hangs the coats on the rack right next to me. They brush against me, nearly knocking me over with their weight. The moment the woman steps out of the closet and closes the door behind her, we scramble out of the shadows. Why did we hide from her anyway? I ask Hayden. If she saw you, she probably would have screamed and attracted attention to us. You're not ready for that. You don't act like Piper. Really, we've got to work on that. He grabs 2 jackets off the lost and found rack and thrusts one into my hand. I put it on. So, you think I act like I'm out of my mind, huh? I say, referring to his comment back at the restaurant. When did I say that? Hayden looks perturbed. It's just that you're not like Piper at all. I'm not trying to put you down, really. I'm just saying, the press, they're gonna figure this out. Hayden cracks open the coat closet door and cautiously peeks through. Suddenly, we're dashing down the hall towards a door that appears to lead outside. When we reach it, we slow down and saunter towards it, not wanting to make a scene. We step into the evening chill, but the ski jacket Hayden gave me keeps me toasty warm. I follow Hayden across the street, and we walk up to a cafe. A woman is talking to the owner, who's busy sweeping the entryway. Hayden approaches them. Do you mind if we borrow those scooters for the day? He points at 2 sky blue scooters leaning against the building. The day? It's almost over, kid. You'd only have them for a couple of hours. Besides, they're not for rent, the man says, turning his back to Hayden. Just then I spot a few reporters mulling around on the other side of the street. If they see us... I walk up to the owner of the cafe. Sir, those would really help us out, I say, pointing to the scooters. We're kind of in a pinch. You see, we're trying to get away from those reporters over there. I barely get the words out of my mouth when one of the reporters looks our way. I duck my head. The reporter points us out to his friends, and they turn to cross the street. Are you famous or something? Asks the cafe owner. Yeah, my name's Piper Hansen. Can we take the scooters? I ask urgently. Yeah, sure, take them. But I'll need them back by 11 a.m. tomorrow. Will that work for you? He asks. Yeah, that'll work, Hayden says, handing the man a card with a phone number on it. Just call that number with your address and the scooters will be returned right away. The man tosses Hayden 2 pairs of keys. I look at the scooter and cringe. I have absolutely no idea how to ride one, and the reporters are only a few yards away. Hayden is about to hand me a pair when he realizes why I look so scared. He throws one set of the keys back to the owner and motions for me to get on behind him. I hop on as he revs the engine to life. We speed off just as the reporters reach the storefront. A few cars screech on their brakes as Hayden maneuvers into the middle of the street. Have you ever ridden one of these things? I shout in his ear. I did it in a movie once, he yells back. We turn the corner onto the main promenade, the Arc de Triomphe looming up ahead. Suddenly, Hayden does a U-turn, and we're facing the oncoming traffic. I scream, "What do you think you're doing?" I yell. We hop a curb and barrel down a sidewalk. People start running and screaming, some even shouting curse words at us. Just then, we overturn a crepe cart. I simultaneously fly off the scooter. My body slams into a trash can, sending garbage flying everywhere. Blood oozes from the scratches on my arms and legs. I see Hayden rightening the scooter. In front of him, the enraged owner of the crepe cart wildly gesticulates his displeasure. I struggle to stand up, but my body screams in protest. Briella, are you okay? I hear someone above me say, Hayden? I look up. No, Tyler. He's a boy I've practically known my entire life, although recently he's been off at boarding school in the south of France. He's kind of like the sibling I never had. My mind wanders back to all the fun times we'd had before he was sent off to boarding school. Sunny summer days spent roaming Paris streets, eating ice cream with Isabel, and climbing the tallest trees we could find. Tyler was sent to boarding school because of a prank that Isabel and I had been a part of when we were 2nd graders. We'd put sorry for the damage notes on practically every car on a particular street. This woman had convinced Ty's parents that we'd actually damaged her vehicle, which of course we hadn't. She went so far as to call the police on us. Sadly, Tyler's parents had believed this woman's lies and sent him off to boarding school as a result. I still feel terrible about what happened because I was the one who came up with the stupid idea. Bree, are you alright? Tyler snaps me out of my memories. I nod slowly, looking in the direction of Hayden, who is on the phone, probably consulting his lawyers. I look back at Ty as he helps me to my feet. What on earth happened? He asks. I'm about to tell him everything when I see the mob of reporters scrambling out of their news vans. Hayden drops his phone into his pocket and grabs my arm. Once again, we're on the move. We duck into the nearest bakery. I look up to see Ty locking the door behind us and shutting all the window blinds. By the time he gets done, newscasters are pounding on the door. Please, Bree, tell me what's going on. He glances over at Hayden. And who is this guy anyway? What are you doing in those heels? I look down at my feet, astonished that I've been running around in these all evening. How had I managed not to fall over? I look back at Ty, who deserves an explanation. But we have to get out of here before the reporters knock down the door. We head through the kitchen, and he leads us up a back stairwell. Soon, we're in his apartment. It just so happens that Tyler's family owns the bakery below. Ty's mother, Mrs. Scott, comes barreling towards me and envelops me in a big hug. Your mother is frantic, dear, she says. She's been calling everyone she knows, trying to find out where you are. I look down at the floor, feeling awful. But what could I have done differently? I'd had no time to call her. As Mrs. Scott dials my parents, Emily, Ty's sister, hands me a giant chocolate chip cookie. My mouth waters. I haven't had anything to eat since lunch. Ty is off in the corner, talking to Hayden. I hope Hayden's explaining the mix-up. I'm so exhausted, I probably wouldn't have made any sense. I slump down on the couch and stare out the window at the city lights flickering in the darkness. Briella, your parents are headed here to get you, but do you know where Isabel is? Mrs. Scott asks. I start, sitting up from my slouched position. Isabel? The last time I'd seen her was when I told her to follow the limo. Had she actually done that? Is she still looking for me? I stare up at Mrs. Scott, fear enveloping me. I don't know. I haven't seen her in hours. Mrs. Scott turns to leave the room. As she does, I hear her dial 3 digits into her phone. I want to cry. It's my fault Isabel's not at home where she's supposed to be. I'm the one who was mistaken for a movie star. The one who told her to follow a vehicle she obviously couldn't follow on foot. I sigh and sink back into the couch cushions. A few minutes later, Hayden's manager pulls up in front of the building. Before he leaves, Hayden turns back to me. If it hits the news that Piper's missing, that'll be worse than thinking she's crazy. He drops a piece of paper into my hands. As he leaves the room, I look down at it. At the top is a phone number, and beneath it is written, "Call me if you want to help me find her." I look out the window as he drives away. I'm not sure if I want to help, but then again, what would become of Piper if I didn't? Just then, my parents enter the room. Upon seeing me, my mom bursts into tears. I think about the anguish she must have gone through not knowing where I was, and I feel deep remorse. My tears finally break through, and I sob on her shoulder. After we collect ourselves, we head to the car with Tyler following behind us. Thanks for saving us, I say. He smiles. I'd sure like it if we could hang out again one of these days. With that, his smile fades, and he sadly shakes his head. I'm actually heading back to school tomorrow. I've been on break for a week. I would have called you, but... He turns his head towards the bakery. We've been swamped. Sorry. It's okay, I manage to say. I hope second semester treats you well. He nods, and I walk towards my parents. We exit through the back door just in case the reporters are still outside. I climb into our car, and my dad shuts the door behind me. As the car pulls out of the alley and onto the main road, I think of the piece of paper Hayden gave me. In my pocket lies a choice, one that could change the trajectory of my life. Just how much am I willing to risk for the sake of a Hollywood movie star? I hope you guys enjoyed that chapter of A Mistaken Identity, and we'll come back next Wednesday to hear chapter 6. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, then please do. Also, if you have not watched my last video, then click up here. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great week.